Can you hear me? Thank you very much for having me here, and thank you very much, Charles, for being between the performer and me, because, you know, I didn't feel pretty good as a technology nerd speaking after such a great performance. You know, it might be boring for you. Well, I must say I was pretty nervous being invited to give a speech at TEDx, because I usually sell myself, and I'm not allowed to do it here. So I didn't really know what I have to say to you and what I could say to you, but I thought maybe, well, putting some things together that were guiding me for right now almost 20 years in trying to finance various ideas, trying to finance startups, and I think this is all we here talk about. These are different ideas. And I think ideas are great, but if ideas are not deployed, if they are not put into action, we don't see them, are they really worth? So I think what for me generate the same importance is than ideas actually the right execution. And I saw many people working on great ideas and not achieving what they wanted to achieve. So I think talking about those things, what I think makes people achieve and bring through the ideas that they have in their heads is really, really important. So generally, I put sometimes, you know, some achievements that I've been going through with trying to finance, starting or developing more than 18 projects, or today employing several people here in Poland or generally in the world, because after showing a slide like this, I can usually talk stupid things and people listen. So I've done pretty many things, yes, and I was trying to be successful in many things I was doing, but I did not. I was not always successful, and people very often are not successful in things we're doing. So I wanted to talk with you what I think is really important when we go forward with the things that we want to do. The most important thing that I see is you have to be, it's not working. You have to be engaged in things you are doing. You have to be 100% committed, and you cannot think about any alternatives. I very often see people that are coming to us with great ideas, and they want to prove to us they are so great, so they are showing us they are doing many things concurrently. Or they very often think about their alternatives that they had if they fail. The most successful people I've seen in my life, those are people that are mortgaging their houses against bets on ideas they are doing. And these people go forward. Sorry. The second important thing that I believe is discipline and courage. But discipline not understood in the way that you have to work hard to achieve your success. Discipline understood in that you have to be committed to things that you believe and be with this till the very end. So if you believe in something, do it. Because people often fail because of not actually executing their beliefs. This is very often, of course, connected with courage. Oh, file slip. And I have done several failures because actually not standing behind my beliefs. I have exited investments that right after my exit actually became successful. That things realized that I strongly believed into, but were not able actually to stick with these beliefs till the very end. I went bankrupt in some businesses because I didn't have the courage to keep it till the end. Although the business model proved to be very successful and others actually made pretty good success in this sector. But on the other hand, when I talk about commerce, this is the first company I was involved with. I was one of the co-founders. Many often people ask me, how did it come that you had the feeling that this March 2000, when you were selling your shares, is the right moment to sell? I said, it had nothing to do with my feeling. This was just my internal beliefs that I said when some things are going in the right direction, I'm with the company. When they are not, I'm not with the company. And because of internal politics, I just took the decision to leave the company half a year ago. It was half a year before the actually IT business reached the hype, so I could be able to exit at the highest valuation. The same as I started the company, as people very often ask me, I mean, how was it? Why did I start this company? I said it was very simple. I was at the 4th grade of studying, and I decided that I take the first job, the first opportunity I have to take, because I want to learn how it is to work. Then I went to a lecture with Janusz Filipiak, who was the professor at AGH, and he said he was very boring, always not organized. So actually, these were pretty bad lectures he was giving. Yes. And he's standing in front of us and he's asking, well, I have this project with TPSA that we have to develop a software for them. Is anybody interested in doing this with me? And I went, yes. Not because it was interesting, or not because Filipiak was interesting. It was just because I took the decision that I'm taking the first job possible. Yes? And I really think success comes from this, that you stick to your rules. And of course, later on it turned that we set up a company together and was pretty successful. Yes, and today this is, I would say, one of the few biggest companies here in Krakow. Yes, that is turning Krakow into a technology company. Yes, before we had the steelworks, and today we have software companies here. So in the same way I entered Commar, in the same way I exited Commar. Not because it was worth a lot and the market was at this high and I could make a lot of money. No, I just thought that the period of working and developing Commar is over. And when speaking about failures, I think this is the most important element that we actually face in our lives. These are not successes, but these are failures that shape us. Yes, successes will make us fly and make us do stupid things, but failures make us think. But as I thought, I failed many times. Maybe sometimes not making as much money on investment that we made, sometimes in going bankrupt. Yes, we as a venture fund, we started in 2000. Yes, this was the internet hype. Everybody remembers the dot-com boom. Everybody was talking about internet, but back then, internet did not prove to make any revenues anywhere. Companies, revenues maybe, but companies were not profitable. So actually, when the bubble bursted, nobody were interested in investing in internet. And our company name was Internet Investment Fund, and we were raising money. So actually, our investors were running away faster than we could finish our name of the company. So it was very, very bad time actually to be in. So we wanted to make investments, but we had to close most of them down and work on the ones that were successful without having any external investors in the fund. We had to make them successful, sell them, and to make money on them to be able to invest further. And it was very okay. And I must say, this was one of the reasons that the crisis that we have today, we perceived as the greatest opportunity of our time, yes? Most probably this crisis will be one of the biggest for me in my professional life. So it was for me really a pleasure to entering into. Maybe I'm a little bit exaggerating, but actually we could get prepared for it. And we are taking advantage of it, honestly saying. Yes, there are many great companies that are right now in troubles that we can help and take over. So from one side, failures are great because they teach you, really, yes? I mean, successes will not teach you anything, but failures do. But it is very important after you fail to stand up. And the other thing that is important, to admit that you are failing and let it go. Because people very often go down with their failures, yes. Another important issue is delegating and outsourcing, yes. It is very important to be able to develop your organization fast, your ideas fast, either geographically distributed or within a growing organization is to delegate and outsource. But it is very important to know what you outsource. And I see very often people outsourcing hiring. And I must say, I don't understand why people are doing this, yes? Why people do outsource the most important thing that is for the management of a company to be done. Well, if people are outsourcing hiring, especially at the levels right beyond them, they should outsource themselves in the first step, I would say. So, talking about mass and small, I think, yes, small is beautiful because small is fast. But for me, what small is really about is actually the ability of putting people in charge of those small things. If you grow a big organization, you don't want to delegate because you are afraid people failures will fail your organization now. But if you're able to divide your organization into small pieces, you are able to delegate full power and responsibility over people. That's what small is beautiful, what I believe, because it can really empower people, free them, and give them possibility to take risky steps, yes? But this will not fail your whole organization. That's why I came to a conclusion, actually, after working for a few years, that venture capital is really the right place that I feel good with, because I can do exactly this. Finance people, give them the freedom to act. On the other hand, what we struggle all the time, and this is why I say that we are all the time looking for the right organization, is still to be able to have the impact on these strategic moves, which is, I think, the most important issue for a venture capital or somebody who is financing ideas is to do, because very often we finance people that do not have the experience, yes. And if we know that they are doing something wrong, we want to correct it, and this is not always possible. I mean, look at this picture. People were afraid of typing machines coming into market. Our grandchildren will laugh about Facebook. This is what I believe. So change is something that is speeding up, we could say, but I don't think so. We just get older. That's why we think that this is speeding up. It was always there, and it will be always there. So for us to exist, for our organization to exist, is to be able to adopt the change. And what I do in my life and all our companies, I mean, we're all the time trying to find the holy grail that will really make all of these companies develop. And we are really open for change everywhere, and I think everybody should be. And if we are getting older, I'm getting older, I think that I cannot invent things anymore. We start to fund it, yes? So I think, you know, if you can invent things, fund things. And this is, I think, the right thing for any big organization to do, because I haven't seen actually a big organization be very innovative without funding ideas, without buying and taking over. It's Wi-Fi, and I think when I'm close and it's working better. And there is the issue of luck in being successful, yes? Everybody says that, of course, you need to work hard, you need to have great ideas, but you need always to have luck. And I must say, I don't believe so much in this idea of having luck, yes? Because if you see this, I think over 60% of lottery jackpot winners are bankrupt within 5 years. Now I think, so what does have luck with actually constantly being successful? I don't believe in having luck. There is a joke about Rebbe coming to the synagogue and asking the God to give him the opportunity to win the jackpot, yes? And he's coming, you know, ever and ever again, and God one day talks to him, Rebbe, give me a chance, buy a ticket, yes? So I think this is exactly what each of us every day face. I mean, we see all these trains leaving, yes? And I think what we name luck is having the guts of taking the opportunity. I think whatever opportunity you take, you can be lucky with it, but you have to give God the chance. And I think most of the people just don't. And that's why they say, ah, you were lucky and I'm not. Yeah, and that's it. And because, as I said, I'm actually a technology guy, so I wanted also to give you few words about technology and few words about Poland, which I think is a great place to be and is a great place to develop. What am I in technology? Well, we could say I've started 20 years ago. It is not that long. But today people are investing in clean technologies and biotechnologies and many others. And I think technology is great because technology is reinventing itself every 10 years. And it's even speeding up. I mean, we had the mini computers era, we had the desktop era, we had the internet era. We already today say we had the internet era because I think Google's growth is over. I mean, it's great, it will be still growing, but the most growth is over, yes? Today we are coming to the social networks era. I believe 2011, 2012, Facebook will IPO. I encourage you to buy their shares. They will be growing then. Then we will go to another era, and this is all actually facilitated with technology. And the connection, the internet only makes it faster, to develop faster. The cycles are faster. But every cycle, a new opportunity emerges. And here I name just the biggest names, but around all those companies, there are tons of others that create a completely new economy. So there are tons of opportunities in the technology field to develop. Another very important issue is that technology is very short-cycled. This is why Warren Buffett is saying he's not investing in technology, because he wants to invest for 30 years now. Now, if you want to be successful in technology, you need to set something up, grow it, and sell. Most of the technology companies, in most of the cases, if you look at them, they have been growing in a period of around 7 to 10 years. I mean in value, yes? As investor, we look always as value. Of course, they've been growing later in market share, in their success, whatever. But in terms of shareholders' value, they have a relatively small growth period. You see this in America, where this is the broadest market. You had Microsoft growing from 80 till 99. Since then, they are not growing in value. It's 10 years already. You had Google growing for more or less 8 years, I would say, the highest growth. They are still growing. Yesterday, they grew 10%, but this growth is not that great anymore. You had Facebook that is growing right now. You had Comach, for example. They were growing in value since 93 till 2000. In 2000, the value of Comach, the biggest IT company in Krakow, was around 1 to 2 billion zloty. Today, it's 600 million. So look, for 10 years, the company did not grow in terms of value. So that's an important issue to remember. And I think what is also an important issue to remember, that if you want to make money investing in these shares, it's pretty easy. If you would invest in Microsoft back then when they are IPOing, which was a no-brainer that this is a successful company, you would do 50 times. If you would invest in Google by the time Google was IPOing, it was a no-brainer they would be successful. You would make 7 times your investment. If you will invest in Facebook in 2012, and this is a no-brainer they will be successful, you will make also significant money. So actually, looking at those companies, but only staying for a short cycle of time, is the only successful way in developing investments in technology sector. My time is slowly running over. I wanted also to share with you what I think where the future development and future gain in the technology sector will be, in the IT especially. One of them is cloud computing. It is today going mainstream. This is something we have been talking about 10 years ago. Remember a company, Sun Computers? Once a big company, they said the network is the computer. They do not exist today. But the network is the computer, actually. And some other things, I just split them. I think the presentation will be available online. I wanted to say also a few words about Poland, because not many people are aware of this, but Poland today is the second best IPO market in Europe, after UK. We have the biggest active community of VC investors in Poland. Actually, we are talking today to many German and French companies that cannot get investment money over there in Poland to invest. You have tons of incubators that will be financing ideas. And what I think, we have today also the second generation of people coming into the market that we did not have for 20 years. People that are the millennials that actually were born after the communism or got the education after the communism. And I think, you know, this is more about people and money, less about ideas, that ideas we can take from TEDx, and this is about us, you know, that we can grow those into successful things. Thank you very much.